and welcome back to Picture This, the Best Picture Movie Review show, hosted by me. I am Mommy's favorite poppy. My name is Alex, and with me, he loves his mommy. It's Jack.
I do, but I don't call her mommy. I call her mum. That's it.
And moms love him, Matthew Chen.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. That
Happy
intro
Mother's
was brought to you by me being weird. Shout out to all the moms out there. We'll do
That's
memories.
just most of our intros at this point. Let's be honest.
I don't know what you mean. Well, if we have like spare time, we'll talk about moms, movie moms, our moms maybe later. But for right now, we got to talk about The Godfather Part 2. The sequel to the Best Picture winning. It has to be really hard to like make the best movie of the year, and then like a couple years later, be like, all right, let's do it again. Gather up the crew. We're doing it again. But sir, you killed half of them last time. I said, call them up. I'm Francis Ford Coppola. I do what I want. The Godfather Part 2. It's the second one. This time, because they killed half the people in the yeah. Another long movie. Stop it, Academy. You could have been here for this episode. This time, because they'd done the gangster thing. They were like, what if we do the gangster thing, but twice. Twice.
In one movie.
But sir, who are you gonna get to match the performance of Al Pacino? And he was like, I got this guy. His name is Bob. His name is Bobby. That's what he makes us call him. And that's him. That's who we're gonna get. Find him a gray suit, and we are off to the races.
He's this really he's this one random 79-year-old actor that just had another kid.
His seventh kid. Here on Mother's Day, we really want to talk about Robert De Niro, who just had his seventh kid. Congratulations. Bobby's popping him out. That was gross. I didn't like that. I didn't like that joke at all.
I hated that. But, okay. Shit. Spence, I will ban you.
Robert De Niro.
All right, let's get into the ratings.
Okay. Spence
didn't have an opportunity to fully rewatch this film, so as of right now, they're still sitting at a 3.5 out of 5, although that rating will not be factored into our collective average rating. Coho isn't here, but he's next lowest with 4.5. Then join him right there at the 4.5 club. Alex, tell us why.
So tell us why. Like, it's a horrible thing to be a movie that is 4.5 stars.
That's not what I meant. I'm sorry.
No, it is inherently what it sounds like, because it sounds like you went higher, which is fine. I'm not, this is an excellent movie. I think anchored by two outstanding performances. It's very long, and I'll be honest, in a way that I didn't necessarily feel it as much for the first part. I did feel it a little bit more for this one because of the split narrative. I think that I almost would rather have seen The Godfather Part 2. I would have almost preferred all of the stuff with Robert De Niro to be like placed onto Part 1.
That's fair.
As you like parallel how different and how samey those two rises to powers were. Like as the rise and fall of this guy as his son has to now follow the same path. Stop putting Spence's comments up. You don't have to. But for what it is, I think it is very good. I feel the runtime of it a bit, and I think it's just a little bit less interesting. I think Christina kind of less to do. He has less to work with. Um, that's not to say that it's a bad performance. I just think that his character, a lot of it is reduced to like, well, I'm I'm gonna do this performance, but the performance is mostly side eyeing people in rooms. And like I'm gonna sit in this chair and this shot will be from over here and I'll just side eye them. That will be the performance. Um but yeah, it's good. It in a way that The Godfather is like interesting uh and kind of cool to watch. This one isn't as fun to watch because I don't think it has necessarily the prestige as the first one does. So like it is inherently less exciting. Maybe that is the problem with the runtime. But yeah, I don't begrudge it a lot, but I do think that it's just like a tighten away. Do you know what I mean? Like just like a little quick. They didn't, like the nails, like the screw is still just like a little bit up, and you're like, ah, God, kill me. It's that. It's that. It's like that.
This is fair. We'll go to me next. I have it at 5 out of 5. I think this movie is brilliant. While it may never crack my favorite movies of all time, it's absolutely one of the greatest. I think the two central performances here of Pacino and De Niro as the two Corleone godfathers works really well in the same movie. I understand the take that they should have been two different movies. I get it. I like the back and forth from the storylines. I think Vito's is my favorite between the two. I enjoy seeing young Robert De Niro just kick ass in this movie. It's awesome. That whole sequence during the parade or whatever is going on in that scene is fucking perfection. De Niro gives a killer performance, deserving win of that first Academy Award of his for Best Supporting Actor. I think Pacino is incredible. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the other supporting players like John Cazale kills it in this movie. It sucks that he's overshadowed by De Niro, by Pacino, but he is right there with them in this film. Oh no, what did Spence say? Honestly, good question. I personally go young Pacino, but I'm fine with young De Niro as well.
You know what? Let's just get out of the way. I think young De Niro, but not in the mustache that he has in The Godfather Part 2. Specifically in The Godfather Part 2. Yeah. Oh, it is a dead heat. Yeah.
Oh wow. That is
young Bobby. Young Bobby.
Oh, good Lord. Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, perfectly paced, super well edited, some really great moments, and enough cannot be said about that New Year's party scene. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. Just fucking perfect scene.
The one scene where he gets to like have a moment, and it's like one of the best scenes in all of movies. I'm not saying that it's absolutely.
Yeah. Also, the scene where Fredo's in the chair and he's just like, I'm smart. Like he's got his whole speech to Michael in that scene. It is such a great scene. This movie is so perfect. I really can't fault this movie on anything. It's just not the most rewatchable thing for me. I personally like it better than the first one. I'm one of the people that thinks that part 2 is better than part 1. I understand the take that it's not as good. I think it's arbitrary to choose between the two. I think you really can't go wrong with either. Anyway, I've said enough. I'm kind of just rambling at this point. Matthew, bring us home.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have more to say about the movie than I do because it's my first time watching it. Yeah, I've been hoping to watch it in theaters for a while, and then with COVID, my theater stopped doing like flashback cinema, and so yeah, I think it's an incredible movie. I think the first movie is tighter, but I still thought like this was just really outstanding. I think the different storylines with Vito and Michael like is very interesting, and like just seeing the parallels and how they kind of just like connect. I found that to be really compelling. But I feel like you guys have said mostly everything. Like it is just it's perfect. I think.
Yeah. So with that, we have an outrageously high average score for this, but no rating is too high for this movie. It's 4.8 out of 5.
It's pretty good.
4.75, but I rounded it up because when it's at a 5, you round it up. Yeah, it's 4.8 for us. It's fantastic. What do we want to do? Do we want to do standout performers?
Yeah, let's do some standout performers because I think that's probably going to be
Yeah.
we're going to have a little
So,
contention on this one.
we were talking earlier, Matthew.
Okay. Yes.
Uh, I hope I spelled that name right. We were talking and we were saying how Al Pacino has a really good shot at being the first person to be on our standout performers list twice. Not only that, but for the same role in 2 different movies.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what Spence is going on
True.
about now, but whatever. However, I want to put forward a different name, if I could, as Vito. I'm just gonna put Vito. I'm not gonna bother with the last name this time. I'm gonna go with Robert De Niro as Vito Corleone. He is my personal favorite performance in this film. I think he brings a lot to the role that was played so well by Marlon Brando in the first. And I think he absolutely kills it in this. Does anyone want to put forward like a John Cazale or a Talia Shire that we forgot to mention when we were actually talking about the movie? Or do we want to debate between these two?
I think, but like, it's tough, right? Because John Cazale like disappears from the plot for like like just huge chunks.
He has
of the
less
movie.
focus than the main two.
Yes.
So and the movie really does fall on either Pacino or De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
So these were the two that I was between. My standout is De Niro.
Talia Shire is great. You said your standout is
De Niro.
All right, De Niro.
Bobby.
Matthew, anything to say in favor of Pacino, or are you gonna?
No, like I'm okay with this. I think both are giving incredible performances. I do think the storyline with Vito is more interesting, but I personally find Pacino to be to give the better performance. But no, I mean I have no issues with De Niro being our standout.
That's totally fair. All right, I will copy that and bring it over to. I have to share my screen. Present, share screen, all that fun stuff. Picture this list. Okay, let's do the standout performances. Edit. Y'all can see the screen, right? I can't see it because I'm on. I don't have my monitor with me because I'm in a hotel. You can see the screen. It's being shared, right? Oh shit. I'll go back to this tab. There we go. That's better.
Oh, you do, yeah.
Now you can see it. Update. Okay. Where do we want to put? Let's go top down for this performance.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
So let's start small. Above or below.
Start small. The top 5.
Above or below.
Well, no. Like, let's just go one by one here. Above or below. Like, let's start at Ray Milland, The Lost Weekend. Above or below. I vote below.
Fuck, that's hard.
It's already tough.
It is. It's already difficult. I'll go below.
Okay, that's 2 for below. Matthew, above or below Al Pacino in the first one?
This is tough.
Right?
This is hard.
It is tough, actually. I think Matthew, you go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, my vote is for above. He'd be my 4. If like here, he'd be 4 for me.
I'm gonna put Matthew in a very uncomfortable position, and I'm gonna say that I think Pacino was better in the first one.
Oh no!
No,
It's on you. It's on you, Matthew.
I am going to say below Pacino.
All right. Above or below Rita Moreno? I vote above.
I also vote above.
Above.
All right. With that, Robert De Niro is in the top 5 performances in our standout performances list, kicking Rita Moreno out of the top 5, and Julie Andrews is no longer a top 10 performance. Thank fuck.
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you pull the list back up?
Yeah, sure. What do you want to see?
Can we? Is it pop? Oh shit! No, we can't.
Is it possible to what?
This is just because my brain is incorrect. I don't know why this bothers me, but it does. We have The Godfather, which is in the stand-up performer. The Godfather won, but it won for Pacino's role. But we have Vito, and then The Godfather Part 2. We have Pacino, but De Niro won. I don't know why that's bothering me.
You know what? Now that you mention it, it's really bugging me. Oh, good Lord. I don't like that now.
We can move on. It's fine. It doesn't.
We'll move on. All right. We have. Oh,
It doesn't matter. Should have watched it. Should have watched it. Is that in your opinion? It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we
It's
can
the
move
people that
on
watch it that
to
have
the
an opinion.
next segment. I guess I'll play the song. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to How Gay Was My Valley. I should keep my voice down. I am in a hotel. The podcast where we rank every Best Picture winner based on how gay it is. Alex, how gay is this movie? I do believe there is a two men who kiss on the lips in this, which is the first time since
Here's
Wings.
the thing. Yeah, since Wings is the first movie where 2 men actually kiss.
Yeah.
And moreover than that, those 2 men are playing brothers. So it is the return of gay incest to How Gay Was My Valley. Previously seen in Grand Hotel.
We got both.
So, there's that. It's not really hot, though, when they do it. It's more like a moment of anger, which can be hot, but it isn't. This one's not hot. This is more like I'm gonna kill you kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Not like a get over here kind of a vibe.
You're not wrong. It definitely, it's not the same kind of kiss that we see in Wings, where it's these two people are.
That was romantic.
That was at least somewhat romantic. There was no romance in this. It was very much the kiss of death is what it was called. So
yeah,
I don't know how high we can put it.
I will say this, and I think I said this for the first Godfather movie. There is something very funny to me, because I would be shot by these characters for bringing it up, but it is really funny how these men all ignore their wives to hang out with their boys. They will straight up ignore and not talk to their wives for most of the movie, then be like, Robert Duvall, you've always had my back. I love you. You're my bro. You're the best. I don't know what I'd do without you. And Robert Duvall's there. He's there. The same, man. Same. It's crazy. He's like, yeah, Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Say bye to my wife for me. Like they'll just straight up leave their wives to go hang out with their boys. I think that more so than the actual kiss between two men who are portraying brothers is actually the gay part of The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I think that point kind of got brushed under the carpet, kind of with the first one, but this one I think
it's more prominent.
Yeah, I definitely think it's more prominent in this one.
Matthew, any additional thoughts to add?
No, I think you guys have said everything that needs to be said.
I should stop talking on this show. I'm just killing Matthew's vibe.
Nah, you good. Where do we rank this?
But I mean, we gotta give it points for that kiss.
We have to give it points for a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Okay, so above or below Lawrence of Arabia? We'll start there.
Oh, a lot above.
Yeah.
Okay. Above or below The Apartment?
I feel like most of these are just like not gay.
Yeah.
And then
gay.
This one we have to at least
Mutiny on the Bounty is like, or Ben-Hur is like the top of like, or
Can
like
we
the bottom
see
of the
top 10. Can we do like a top down instead?
Yeah.
Because I think this is my opinion. I think the lowest we can go is like 6 or 7. Based on the criterion that we've put up for the show, it's like, oh, actually, I forgot about Rebecca. So I will amend my statement and say that like the lowest that we should probably go is below Rebecca, because this is where our like casual vibes start. Like My Fair Lady is like, yeah, there's a song, but they don't mean it. This one is like entire scenes and a kiss.
Yeah.
In Rebecca, there's like a woman that murders because of how much she loves
another
her.
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this is where it stops being like,
I think that is
suspect.
Good. Yeah.
All right. So below Rebecca then?
What's below My Fair Lady?
My Fair Lady, below that is All About Eve.
Oh, shit, this is hard. This is a difficult list.
I think we can go below Rebecca, above My Fair Lady.
I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that is accurate.
All right, then with that, I closed it completely. Let's see. Yeah, so with that, All About Eve is no longer top 10 most gay Best Picture winners we've seen. And based on how this is going, I don't know how high Moonlight's going to make it, but we'll see when we get there.
No, Moonlight's gonna do damage to this list.
It is.
But like, okay. I was thinking about this the other day. I think based on what I understand about a lot of these movies, I think the list is going to be like fairly tame for a while.
Yeah, because One Flew, Rocky, Annie Hall, none of those super gay.
No, if it were like
Deer Hunter will get a little bit more back into what the spirit of what this list is, but until then,
it's not until deep in the 80s with like Rain Man maybe or something.
Not even.
Forrest Gump in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
And then what? Actually, you know what's going to be really high on the list is Return of the King. Return of the King could do some damage to this list.
If that doesn't make top 10, we riot. Anyway,
one could make the argument for Slumdog.
One could.
One could make the argument for Green Book.
One could.
But I don't think that any of those, like some of those are not going to do, like, we're talking like top 20 damage. Like top 10 damage is going to be really difficult to find unless there are scenes that I am completely ignorant of in these movies, which is technically possible.
It is possible, yeah. Anyway,
What if
With
Gladiator is much gayer than I remember?
Maybe.
it, honestly, maybe a little bit, but not even that much.
Really
Anyway, let's close this. Well, let's close this part of the show out. With that, we're going to move on to the next podcast from the podcast. Matthew, kick us off.
I'll say this and then we'll go grab my food. So, Asian.
Ooh.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to $1 Million Racist
You
podcast.
take
From
him
the
off
podcast
screen.
where
I fucking hate cutting that.
when we rank every Best Picture winner based on how racist it is. Alex, how racist is The Godfather Part 2?
So not at all, really.
Yeah.
For as like slurry as the first one was, right?
Yeah.
And that's mainly the problem with kind of going back into like the past is that there will be more slurs than you're necessarily used to. For as many slurs as there were in the first one, the second one is actually much lighter on that.
I would
keeping in mind that they even go further back in time. I think
true. They go back to like 1910s era.
Yeah, and they talk about like the Japanese, but in a way that's like current events. They make it like
they don't use slurs when they're talking.
I mean, they do use slurs, but it's like
not to the same extent as they do in the first.
It's like if you made like a post 9/11 movie, you'd have like you like if you were dealing with that subject matter, you would probably have at least one character that would be like, I don't know what the slurs are. Sorry. I don't know what the slurs are for Muslim people. Sorry, I don't know it. I don't know them. I'm
just not going to comment.
Do you know slurs? Okay, that's
no,
fine.
I don't.
Okay.
I was going to make a bad Mark Stone and whatever the fuck his name is joke.
Yeah. Say some slurs, bro. No, don't. Please don't. Don't.
No, I won't. Spence, who may or may not be backstage, I will not.
Yeah, anyway. So it's like a pretty tame. It's like very tame by those standards.
I would agree with that. Let me just find $1 Million Racist list. Let me add Godfather Part 2 to it. And I will share my screen. Matthew, if you have any additional thoughts to add, now is the time. Otherwise, we're going to rank it.
Dude, Jen is eating right now, so
you're good. All right, where do we want to put it then? Because it's not super racist. So,
I mean, again, there are slurs, so like we have to consider that, but it's not even.
Yeah, there's still slurs, but like not too bad.
It's not necessarily. Like I think below the Lost Weekend, or maybe above the Lost Weekend, because they spread the love a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'd say above the Lost Weekend is probably good because I don't think they use any slurs in the Lost Weekend that I can remember.
No, actually, no, they do they?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they do.
All right, I'm fine with here.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Save that.
Where was The Godfather in
14.
relation to? Okay, so you can still
14.
make an hey, screenwriters, you can still make an excellent movie if you cut out the slurs. Who knew? Yeah, that's a good little spot.
Yeah. All right. Matthew, you want to close this section out?
He definitely has a mouth.
That was very enthusiastic. All right. My nose is starting to bleed, so I'm going to step away for a second. Alex, keep us going.
Okay. I don't have any of the things. So we have been ignoring a crucial part of the show, so I guess I should ask Spence, if you're still back there, are we gonna do a Louis Jourdain? I mean, yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think we. I don't think this is the appropriate movie to do a Louis Jourdain. I think things are going pretty well for the cast of The Godfather Part 2. Are you okay,
Wait,
Jack?
what? Yeah, were you trying to pitch a Louis Jourdain?
I was just wondering because Spence at the lowest rating, or potentially for this show. I was wondering if did I miss something? Is there something I'm not seeing? Was there an awful performance in this movie?
No.
And to be honest, I don't think there was. No.
I don't think so. I think they were all
I think
great.
this is pretty clean performances. So that also eliminates the. Wouldn't it be funny if we gave like a worst ensemble performance? We're not going to be fair and clear. But wouldn't it be funny if we did? If news broke and Cody Newbury was like, those dorks on Picture This gave them a worst ensemble performance.
Oh shit! It's already 1-1. Oh, sorry. The Oilers game is on.
Okay. Started late.
Anyway.
Yeah, wouldn't it be funny if like Cody Newbury was like, those fuckers at Picture This gave The Godfather Part 2 a worst ensemble, a worst cast.
That would be.
I think that would be really funny.
It would be funny. We'd all die, but it would be funny.
I'm comfortable with that.
I mean, me too. Look,
The problem with giving me control of the show for a second there, Jack, is I don't have any of the drops because I'm not signed into that account. So
that's fair. That's my bad. Well, actually, my nose just started bleeding. Also, I'm in a city right now which I hate more than I hate myself, which is already an accomplishment. And this hotel I'm in, the fuckers downstairs, really were not very helpful this morning. Wouldn't let us check in. So yeah, no, I'm not having the greatest of times here in hell. I mean Calgary. But
you should have taken a midnight train going anywhere.
Oh shit, we're winning 2-1 now. Holy fuck. It hasn't even been 3 minutes. Great. Anyway, let's keep going. What do we have to do? Rank the movie? Let's rank it.
I think so, yeah.
All right, let me get to that list. Go Best Picture winners power ranking and okay. Now, Alex, I know the past.
The past is the past.
I know in the past, specifically 2 episodes ago, we made a mistake. I would like to with this. I would like to vote Godfather Part 2 above Sound of Music.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go here.
Godfather.
Oh yeah, yes.
Be below The Godfather.
Yes, The Godfather. Yes, that's
above The Sound of Music.
Yeah, it should even be above The Sting. I think.
I would agree with you
above
there.
The Sting, if we're having it above Sound of Music, but below The Godfather.
I would put it above The Sting as well. What about All About Eve? I don't put it above that.
I don't put it above All About Eve. I think
all right, with that, we have a majority, and we are closing this out. Real quick.
Can you just leave this up? Because I have something that I want to talk about.
Yes.
I know that you're trying to get to watch your Oilers game, and I promise we will get there. We're almost done with the show.
Yeah.
The fuckers that do this show, and I mean y'all.
You as well, but yes.
No. Because I don't think my opinions so far have been strange. For example, I think The Apartment, Lost Weekend, and All About Eve would all be in my top 5 anyway.
Yes.
It's the wrong order, but they'd be there.
I agree.
Spence, The Sting is so high because we all saw The Sting and we liked it. That's why The Sting is so high.
There's 3 people who...
Yeah, 3 people really liked it, and that's it.
3 people gave it 5 stars or 4.5 stars.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And The Sting is just better than The Sound of Music. That's a
The
fact.
Sting is so much better than The Sound of Music. I think we all have some gripes with their top 10.
Here's the thing.
My biggest gripe with the top 10 is the order and the fact that The Sound of Music and West Side Story are on it. I don't have any particular I don't actually care that much about West Side Story, but I think it's really weird that we have stuff like All Quiet on the Western Front, Mutiny on the Bounty. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Scroll down a little bit. Even stuff like All the King's Men. Like
Rebecca.
This is all stuff. Yeah, you know, you liked Rebecca. I liked Going My Way. Go down a little bit further because I think there's even some stuff down here that I'm like, fuck you, that you're wrong.
How Green Was My Valley.
That's yours. I don't particularly. Gentleman's Agreement's good. Right, we can go back up. We can go back up. So I do want to pitch a reorganization because I think the way we did this is wrong. We're not going to do it, but we pitched a reorganization, and I think that we should have done it, but we won't. Marty, hey Marty, go back up all the way, Jack. Go back up all the way.
Okay.
And just for a second, I want us to acknowledge this is wrong.
Oh, I agree with you. Here's the thing. I have two movies in here that I think are laughable to be in the top 10. I don't get why Sound of Music is number 6, and I don't get why. I know, Matthew. I know. I don't get it.
I think that's insane that it's your number 1. I think that's genuinely insane.
Like I get it for you, but I'm sorry, that just makes no sense for me. The Sound of Music shouldn't be in the top 10. It happened one night, while a fun, charming rom-com shouldn't be in the top 10.
I don't
anymore.
See, and that's the thing is, like, it happened one night. When I think about it, I think about one of like the tightest scripts that we've had. Like, I think that's one of the best, like, not like the best. Like, I think you consider it a nothing movie because every movie, like half the rom-coms that I make you watch, and the number is going up every single year. Yes. Half the movies I make you watch are just, it happened one night,
but worse.
But they're in Ireland now or something. Like, it's something stupid like that. It happened one night, but they're a songwriting duo.
Here's the thing. I'm not trying to cheapen It Happened One Night. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, it's a bad movie, it doesn't deserve to be in the top 10 or anywhere near top 10. I'm just saying, look, it's a very good movie. It's serviceable for what it is. It's really well done, and the script is great. But An American in Paris, Mutiny on the Bounty, You Can't Take It With You, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Bridge on the River Kwai are all better than that.
I would put any of the movies in 11 through 15 above The Sound of Music. I would put half of them above West Side Story. I think
okay.
I think Mutiny on the Bounty I would put above West Side Story. I would put All Quiet on the Western Front above West Side Story. I would have to rewatch Bridge on the River Kwai to see if that would go above West Side Story, but it's close.
This is fair.
Genuinely, just to fill time while Jack is away, genuinely, if I had the choice between this West Side Story and Steven Spielberg West Side Story, I would actually rather put that there. And if that were our 7, I'd be fine.
Spielberg's?
Yeah, if Steven Spielberg, if we just time displace Steven Spielberg's West Side Story into the 7 slot, I think that would be completely fine in the 7 slot. Like, I would be like, well, you know what? Sure, yeah. Some people like it, I guess. But this West Side Story, not so much, really.
I agree that Spielberg's is better. It's one of my favorite musicals at this point.
It's fine.
I already love the first one, like the one with Moreno and Natalie Wood, but Spielberg's is a better made movie in my opinion. Also, I prefer America in that one, in Spielberg's. How it really opens up.
So much. It's so much better.
Opens up the environment for that song. But this isn't a review for that movie, so I think we can.
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that we really bungled this one up. This is going to be.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree. We're not going to change it because our rating, our spots are fine.
I just want to set the expectation going forward that when we decide what's better, we go kind of top down. Is The Godfather Part 2 better than The Sting? Instead of what we've been doing, which is, I like The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music should be here. And I think because that will lead us to the wrong place in life a lot, as it has done here, actually.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
West Side Story is great. It should be 6. Why? I like it. Okay. Okay, sure thing, but
anywho, now that we're basically done with the main part of the show, Alex, I believe at least you have watched the movie for extra credit, so I'm going to play the clip.
Extra credit!
And now you can talk about what you watched.
Jack, I know you were really busy, so you probably didn't get a chance to watch any extra credit. Matthew?
I did not get a chance to watch any.
Holy shit. I don't think this has ever happened before. So I got to watch an extra credit just because I was super curious. So I've heard about this movie. I had it recommended to me. And I always think, low-key, it's super interesting when this happens. Hey, did you know that Francis Ford Coppola had a different movie this year? And it was nominated for the other screenplay award. And it was also nominated for Best Picture. It's called The Conversation. Do we have a?
Yeah.
Do we have a?
You talk about it.
Oh, okay. So basically, Gene Hackman is like a bugger. He like bugs rooms. He like steals, like is one of those audio guys that like
always listening.
Yeah, he's always like one of those guys that's like always listening. He like bugs people's rooms. He bugs people's jackets, bugs their stuffs. He's like the best in the world at that, and he's been hired to do a thing. He's been hired to do that, and he thinks that he is accidentally while doing that, he thinks he has accidentally captured a crime occurring, and he becomes super obsessive about it because there may have been a crime committed. So he's trying to figure it out. He's dealing with guilt about his profession. He's dealing with a lot, all while trying to figure this out. It's a really interesting mystery thriller, because not only is he dealing with prior consequences, he's dealing with something that could have consequences in the very immediate future. He's also the best in the world at his job, and that comes with certain pressures. It has several people that you have previously seen in The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2, because Francis Ford Coppola was just like, round up my acting buddies. So it has Gene Hackman, John Cazale, Robert Duvall, young, hot Harrison Ford. It's just like a... it's not as clean as The Godfather Part 2, but like I get it. Like something this like tight, dark, and interesting, if that makes sense. Like this is something that I like. Oh yeah, that of course that got nominated. Like if you had seen it in like November, you'd be like, yeah, that's that. Yeah, sure, yeah, why not? And yeah, it's really good. I would recommend it. I don't think it's as good as The Godfather Part 2, but it's a solid watch if you have just like time. It's like 2 hours long.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Probably my favorite Gene Hackman. I've been very critical of Gene Hackman on this show because I think he's kind of overrated. But this is like a solid Gene Hackman. Probably my favorite Gene Hackman.
That's really good to know. I'm honestly really excited to watch this. I didn't get to it, but I'm quite excited. I know Coho watched it, but he's not here to tell us where he'd put it, and he didn't message us. So where do you want to put it, Alex?
Yeah, this is one I've been wanting to watch, but couldn't get to it.
So
Higher or lower than the Bells of St. Mary's?
I didn't love the Bells of St. Mary's, to be honest. So I think we're gonna
No
go a bit
one did.
higher.
Mildred Pierce, higher or lower?
I did love Mildred Pierce. I think Mildred Pierce is a bit low. Can we go down a little bit?
Yeah, I also think Mildred Pierce is low. Sunrise, above or below?
Oh God, why is Roman Holiday so low? I'll say I think go up a bit. I'll say, because again we're doing the top down perspective. I will say it's above Little Women.
Above Little Women. All right. Yeah. Okay. Above Little Women, below Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, it's a solid movie.
And with that, Spence gets to cry a little bit more, as it is also above the greatest movie ever made, Citizen Kane, which has fallen to 58. My, how the mighty have fallen.
Here's the thing. I saw Citizen Kane, right? I've seen Citizen Kane. It's pretty good. It's not the best movie. I'm sorry. With that, I think
It's no The Godfather.
it's no The Godfather.
It's no The Godfather. I agree with that. Oh, what is Spence saying in the private chat? Nope, not better than The Godfather. But as Spence likes to remind us daily.
I did not care for The Godfather.
Anyway, with that, I think no one else saw any other extra credit movies. So
Extra credit!
let's get into the coming soon section of this show.
Ooh.
Next, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Might be next week, might be the week after. We don't know. We'll see when we get to it.
I made sure to watch every single extra credit movie.
Yeah.
What?
Also, extra credit for 1975 is wild because it's Dog Day Afternoon, Jaws, Barry Lyndon, and Nashville. I want to see the two I haven't seen for that, Barry Lyndon and Nashville. I want to see those two movies so badly. Jaws, top 100 movie. Dog Day Afternoon, barely out of the top 100. Like it could go back in on this rewatch. So I'm very excited to rewatch these movies and hopefully watch Barry Lyndon in Nashville. Are you looking forward to watching any of those, Alex?
I might rewatch Jaws. I'm not terribly interested in the other ones. Maybe Dog Day Afternoon, but then that's like kind of a stretch. I've seen Jaws before. I like it. I want to know if it.
What if I told you that this might be Pacino's best performance?
I wouldn't care.
Ah, damn it. All right. I know you liked him in both Godfather movies, so I was hoping that would interest you. Anyway, then it's Rocky, which beat movies like Taxi Driver. I'm just so excited to rewatch Rocky for the second time.
You're rewatching Rocky? Why?
Yes, you both are.
I'm not going to be on that episode.
All right, well then. And then later, joining us once again for another time, another movie in the 70s, Caleb Boatman will be joining us for Annie Hall. Oh, you're not going to be there, Matthew.
I'll be on.
Hang on. We're just gonna steamroll past past the extra credit for.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Right, sorry. So for extra credit that week, it's Taxi Driver, All the President's Men,
Bound for Glory,
and one more big one, Network. Yeah, Network.
So I think for me, Network is probably going to be the movie that I watch for that if I get a chance to see it. I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, like Network and Taxi Driver are like the top priority for that week for me, and then also I want to get to All the President's Men. Bound for Glory is if I have time. It's lowest priority.
We really are in like the Duvall years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then later, Caleb Boatman joins us for Annie Hall, which beats Star Wars and Julia and like a couple other.
The Goodbye Girl and The Turning Point.
Yep, those two. I will be rewatching Star Wars. because I haven't seen that one in a while. It's been a minute. I could go for a rewatch of that.
Jack, I will watch Star Wars with you, and I will tell you why it is not as good as everyone thinks it is. Oh my god, that's crazy that I said that, and I'm the one with the Star Wars show.
Here's the thing, Alex. You can think it's not nearly as good as everyone says it is. That's fine. It's still better than Annie Hall.
Well, we'll see. I haven't seen Annie Hall yet.
Annie Hall is honestly pretty bad. But we will see what we all think of it then. With that, I've been Jack. This has been Alex. Matthew, the cat in the hat, is cammed off. But thank you for joining us. We will see you hopefully next week.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.